Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Paul.
And this is The Truth About.
Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about. Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about.
Truth. Yeah, so Laura, I wanted to do kind of something a bit different, I guess. Well, I guess
Okay.
it's new, so it's kind of all different, isn't it? But yeah, I wanted to look at the truth about truth.
Okay.
So this, the subject of truth fascinates me anyway, like the irrational truths, the predictability of human nature, and
Okay.
how we learn to kind of bend the truth daily. Now, this has been killing me because I've been like researching this for all week probably.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to like share these really good facts with you, but obviously I haven't been able to.
I know how hard that must have been for you, because as soon as you find something out that you find interesting,
Yeah.
holding it back is impossible for you.
It is hard, but like I kind of want to record your reactions to it,
Okay.
and obviously,
What truth are you going to be telling me? Oh no.
I'm going to tell you the truth. No. Yeah, so did you know that we learn to lie as a child, which is obviously quite prevalent for us, which has been even harder because you're watching Ava all week and I've been seeing this firsthand. So did you know we learn to lie as a child, a part of our development as a route of establishing our independence? So that's why we lie. Children will often say they didn't do something in order to make it all go away.
Ava has actually started doing that.
She has, yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was today, where I said,
Yeah.
"Did you do this?" And
That
she
was it,
goes,
yeah.
"No," and I'm like, "You did. You lie."
You've got pen all over your face.
No.
You've got chocolate all over your face.
Who ate the chocolate?
But let's think about this. This isn't just a children's thing. You know
No.
what I mean? Like we say we didn't do something in order for it to go away. I mean, this sounds like a lot of stuff. So especially in I think in any time during history, that's always been the case, hasn't it? Kind of thing. So my first question, I'm gonna connect you up with a lie detector test.
Oh, he's not. Don't worry.
Have you lied today?
Yes, I have.
Is it a nice light-hearted lie we can share with everyone?
I think. I said
You're living a lie.
I did say to Ava that if she wasn't going to listen to me, because she was decided no to everything.
Oh, yeah.
I said that Father Christmas would be sad.
Well, exactly, and obviously Father Christmas probably would be sad, but you don't actually know whether he would be sad or not. So
Well,
so that was a lie.
Yeah,
But-
and the fact that she's suddenly into Father Christmas, I thought I could use that to my advantage.
Yeah, so it's June and she's into Father Christmas. That's totally fine.
It's great
Alexa,
for me.
how many sleeps until Christmas? Oh God,
Yeah.
I forgot we had Alexa in this room. So the truth is we actually lie once or twice a day. So that's like on average. But let's face it, that's probably a lot more than that. That's quite small. Well, I'm not saying I'm a huge liar here, but
You are.
I probably am. But like for example, how are you doing today? I am great. Like we don't even think about it anymore.
I think
do
that's a
we?
very British thing as well,
That
because
is,
we
yeah.
don't want to, there's been
Stiff up a lip.
yeah,
Keep calm and carry on.
Sometimes I feel as if we've said, like, if you tell the truth. I mean, I say it all the time. Even though I believe myself to be a very honest person and have,
Yeah.
I wear my heart on my sleeve and I say exactly what I think.
Yeah.
When someone says to me on WhatsApp or something, "Oh, how are you?" I just go, "Yeah, I'm great, thank you. How are you?" as a natural thing. And then like 10 minutes later, I'll be like, "Actually, I've had a really bad day." And it'll
Yeah,
just
that
be
is
like,
common.
but wait, you just, but it depends on whether you think, do people actually want to listen to the truth
That's
of
a
how I'm
scary
feeling?
thing. That is a scary thing, isn't
And
it?
I think once someone starts opening up, you feel more inclined to do so as well. So, your little white lie
But that's
can
yeah,
be covering up something so much bigger.
kind of getting deeper with it, I think. But like, it is important that we do talk about our feelings and like they're
Oh, for
validated,
sure.
isn't it? Like, and I mean, us in our relationship or whatever. But it's like that's quite a big thing that we do a lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, how are you feeling? Okay, after you get the first answer, it's like, but how are you really feeling? You
That's
know,
what
kind of
I'm constantly like with you, because I think you come from a family which is very much like you just
very
get on
British.
with it.
Yeah,
you just get
stiff
on with
upper
it.
lip. Let's carry on.
Yeah, whereas I'm very much the opposite.
Emotional.
If I see that you're frustrated about something or upset or annoyed, I won't stop badgering you until you tell me. And it's only when you say, like, I'm just not ready to talk about it at the moment, then I understand. But otherwise, I want to literally drag it from you.
Yeah.
And I think we need to be honest with our feelings ourselves.
Yeah, totally. And no, but that's quite a poignant thing as well, because that kind of leads on to this next bit, really, which is, you know, these lies obviously compound and grow into something bigger, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it ends up being more harmful to you than it is to the other person.
Well,
because,
totally.
you know, if, say, for instance, you don't tell me how you're feeling, is it going to make you feel worse, or is it going to make me feel worse?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and it's quite interesting because, I mean, I should say the book, obviously we're not sponsored or anything like that, but it's just a great book. I like the author anyway, but the book's actually called The Honest Truth About Dishonesty, which is obviously quite funny. It's by Dan Ariely. I hope I said his name right. But you find that most of the world's deception comes from lots of little dishonest acts that actually compound into something larger. So it's not, you know, I think he made a big statement, which was like the difference of us from a criminal is like not that large, you know.
No.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? Like everyone goes, oh god, you know, this is terrible, this person did this person did that, but it's like no one really starts off by going, you know what, I'm gonna steal £1 million, you know, or 700 million pounds, you know, whatever. It always starts from very small little lies or whatever, or acts of deception which then compound. That's the kind of
like Pablo Escobar.
Well, yeah, like every single person in the history of history. But how do we so this is quite interesting. So how do we decide to lie in a specific situation? So the cheater or liar makes actually makes a rational decision. So actually, even when we make decisions to lie, you know, that is a decision. You know,
Yeah.
for example, if you said to me, you didn't spend anything today, did you? I'm like, no, Laura, no.
I know immediately when you have. Basically, as soon as your eyes dart the other way.
As soon as I look down at the floor, yeah.
Honestly, I can just
tell. I
tell.
don't think I bought anything today.
Which is hilarious, because it's not like I'm going to, you know, chop up your card.
No, but this is the thing. So this is actually the rational. So there is a rational decision to actually lie, and it really comes down to how much can I gain from the crime. You know, whatever the crime is. What is the probability of getting caught? Obviously, that's a big factor, isn't it? And if I'm caught, what's the expected punishment? You know, so that's the thought process of lying. Even if we're a child, of, you know, stealing the cookie, or you know,
child,
or me, probably all the time, but. But it's quite interesting that is the gap. I mean, the book's really great. It goes into loads of psychology experiments and things like that. But one of my a poignant one, if you like, that was quite memorable to me was they got these college students and they had 2 fridges. So in one of the fridges they put $6 in dollar bills in the fridge, and in another one they put 6 cans of Coke. And they wanted to see, you know, would someone take the money or, you know, whatever. And you may not be surprised to hear that the $6 was there. Like, no one touched it. But
I guess it makes you feel worse when it's money.
This is kind of the thing. But there was no cans of Coke left.
Yeah.
But and
I was thinking, what would I take? And I think I'd take the Coke.
Yeah.
Obviously, it seems to be a.
With this is what they're saying. When we actually rationalize, you know, what the stealing or the lying or whatever, then it's kind of okay. Like we can make it okay. So if we take money, then that's stealing, isn't it?
Well, it's the same with like when working in an office and
a paperclip.
I mean, in like the office fridge, you know, you've got, if it's communal kitchen, we literally had to write on ours like that this was ours.
My milk.
But that never actually stopped anybody.
No.
And you just think, well, it might seem like it's just milk and it might only be 60p's worth.
Yeah.
But you're still stealing. And it's the same with food. And yeah, I guess in people's minds, it makes them feel like, oh, it doesn't matter. Because it's not money.
Well, yeah, exactly. But because you basically distanced, you're one level away from the money part of it. Obviously, someone had to spend money to buy those cans of Coke, or whatever. But the biggest problem is it's not actually money, is it? It's kind of distance from that. So that's a genuine thing.
I guess
me or you could create a crime.
Well, yeah, and I was just thinking,
very
like,
easily.
Would you like steal a million
no.
pound diamond or $1 million in cash?
I've got the scenario for you, Laura. I've thought about this, and it probably sounds wrong, but I fantasize about this quite a lot, and I have done in the past. Because I'm like, this is like amazing, and what would the rational person who would never ever become a criminal in a billion years, because the thing is, we all have the potential to do it.
Okay, what is it?
So, a scenario cross between No Country for Old Men. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but No Country for Old Men versus Narcos, right? So where you're digging a plant out in an elderly neighbour's garden, right?
Okay.
So you're doing something good for someone, good karma, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, during digging out the roots of this, this plant or whatever, you then find a briefcase filled with like a life-changing amount of money. Let's say, well, whatever's life-changing to you, £7 million or whatever. In this,
I'll just clear the debts.
in this briefcase or whatever.
Okay.
So just think about it. You've then got the battle of like so much conflicting morals because, well, the first thing is, do you tell the old lady about it?
Well, you know what I'd do? I know what I'd do. Well, go on. So you either keep it or you give it away.
Yeah, but it's like,
or you report it.
Do you sneak it away?
No,
do you hand it into the police?
You know what I'd do? I'd split it. I'd give her half and say, look what I found. This is for you. And then just take the other half for myself.
But then, we've probably watched way too many narcoses and mafia things or whatever. But it's like, what if you are caught by the police or the drug cartel? Your life from that point totally changes. Like one tiny little.
I do think watching like No Country for Old Men. And would make the first thing I'd look for is a tracker. And I think also I wouldn't give it to the police anyway because
what are they gonna do with it?
You don't know whether, and I think
hard.
that it's not the easiest thing to do, but I definitely just check if there's a tracker, split the money, and go, well, I don't know anybody, would. I'm not going to tell anybody I've got this amount of money.
No.
I guess that's different with the drug cartels because that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, how far do you want to go with it? Because if you've got £7 million in cash, like, you can't just... Well, I've heard, allegedly, you can't just spend that money. You know what I mean? You can't even go to a car dealership now and give them more than £1,000 in cash because they're going to be like, cool. I mean, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, you do have that potential of then getting found out, all this kind of stuff. But it is just like an amazing scenario to think about. But you think like one tiny or one big lie can obviously escalate. But this is kind of the overall thing within the book, or a large factor is actually the perception of crime. So that's what me and you would deal to be a perception of crime. I mean, for example, if you've got someone in an office, which I'm sure people have done all the time, of like, oh my God, I can't believe it, I actually taken that pen from that hotel, or like, oh, I accidentally packed some soap from the hotel. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
If anyone's watched To Catch a Thief, Cary Grant's character actually discusses that with an assurance guy, and he says, if you steal a towel or an ashtray from a hotel, the police don't go looking for you.
No.
But if one thing goes wrong, if someone's jewelry goes missing, they look for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Despite the fact that I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting concept, because if you've already built up this persona that you're a liar and you don't tell the truth, you're in trouble no matter what happens.
But that's I mean, this has kind of obviously gone into something bigger, and that's the beauty of the conversation, isn't it? But that's the thing. It is perception of that crime, though, isn't it? And so our tiny little lies could easily compound into like
because that £7 million might not mean anything to the person that left it there.
Oh, totally.
Because if it did mean something, why would you hide it in some old lady's garden?
Yeah, but it's definitely one of those things. But that's essentially what they found, though. Like a criminal doesn't start off by usually, just making a big lie. Usually, it's tiny little parts, like tiny little lies or whatever, or acts of deception, which then just keep growing. Hopefully, they don't get caught or this or that or whatever, or they do. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing to something huge, and that's the same thing with companies, with all this kind of stuff. But I love that idea, though, the idea of, the truth about truth. It's because we're all as guilty as each other.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on this earth who is
Mother
completely
Teresa, maybe?
honest.
Mother Teresa. but yeah, like that is a crazy. Yeah, that's just. It
is a strange concept because I guess there is no such thing as the ultimate truth.
No.
And I guess that's the only thing you could say is ultimately true.
Yeah.
There is nobody who is completely innocent of anything, and it's all a matter of opinion and how you perceive things, isn't it? So
and that's like another thing.
I can say that you've lied to me about something.
Yeah.
When really you may not have. You just may have worded it differently to how I would have expected it myself.
And you think the worst part of it is like the people that can actually deceive a lie detector test, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. Obviously, you can learn to do that allegedly, from like a special forces thing. But you believe in the truth so much,
and that's what we saw from Bates Motel. Wasn't
that was it. Yeah.
In Bates Motel, and he's being asked these questions, and obviously, if you've watched Psycho, you know that he does commit certain crimes, and the Bates Motel is obviously set before Psycho, but you know that he's not a good guy. You know he's done wrong, but on the other half of it, you're just like, what does he actually believe? He believes he's completely innocent because the reality is, in his head, that's not him doing it, it's somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's what so many people are convinced, that it doesn't affect their body.
No.
And that's why they can't use lie detector tests. Because some people are just so convinced.
But that's the thing. Like if I growing up, do you remember those little blue pens? I mean, I'm sure they've still got them. The little blue pens in Argos. In Argos, yeah. Like if you find yourself with one of those in your pocket, I mean, you don't know whether you can take them or not. I'm not sure. There's no sign which says please take these blue pens, is there?
Yeah, but there's no sign that says do not take them.
Exactly. So it is that perception, isn't it? But like, what if, you find a judge who's actually going to take that really, really seriously and say, right, well, Laura.
I think it costs too much. I think it costs too much to hold a.
No, all right. They're going to go for it though. That's the thing. They're totally going for it, and they're saying, look, we want to come down really hard on Laura about this, this blue Argos pen.
Why me? I've never stolen an Argos pen.
But right, we're totally going to, because we believe that we need to stop her now. Because this tiny little, act of deception is going to grow into something bigger.
And then next minute I'll be stealing a Mercedes.
Bank. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Holding up a Mercedes-Benz dealership and stealing...
Well, we're going to be the next Bonnie and Clyde. There's going to be the FBI knocking on our door shortly.
But this is the thing, like, how far away are we from being criminals? Like, that's why the whole... I know it kind of goes a bit too deep, but like that's the thing is not that much.
I think that's the thing people got to ask themselves: how honest are they really?
Yeah
And how honest are you really?
But it's, I mean, I don't want to go too negatively into like the whole social media things. Obviously we're on the social media and all that kind of stuff,
and I love it.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, I make sure I follow stuff that I find uplifting and positive and things that is going to brighten my day as opposed to make me feel really bad about myself and, you know, like how I'm not eating as healthy as I should, or, you know, maybe I'm not the best vegan I could be, or, you know, whatever, maybe I don't do enough yoga, you know, you know, whatever. But that is the kind of fear with social media. I mean, that's probably a whole other episode anyway. But how truthful are people being that we are watching?
Yeah, and I guess that is with everything. You may think that, you know, I can sometimes start writing an essay on Facebook about an opinion I have, and then I end up going back and just deleting it and just going, actually, do people really want to hear my honest opinion?
That's it.
Probably not. And
No.
if they do, then they'll read my blog, thegreatsaxby.com, or they'll listen to this podcast.
And and obviously that's the beauty of this. This isn't really edited or anything, is it? You know what I mean? This is
just a flow of conversation.
Exactly, it's just a flow of conversation. It's just our opinion. You know, it's whatever you want it to be, isn't it?
However much truth that we decide to include, is up to us.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot more truths that can be had, and this is the whole point of us doing this is so that we can talk about things and be honest about them. But to a limit. I mean, we could be incredibly honest about some things, but we won't.
Yeah, totally. But think about it. Like, I mean, this is just what I'm thinking now, but it's like, you know, what happens if you create a blog, you start doing small acts of deception? You know, obviously they're not thinking it's small acts of deception. They're just, you know, thinking, you know what, I quite like this. This is aesthetically pleasing, this hotel, you know, whatever, this beautiful, infinity pool or whatever. Yeah, like, you know, we're dreaming about it now, and obviously just take an Instagram post or whatever.
Yeah.
And they paid for it or whatever, and they just keep doing that and doing
There's
that and
actually
doing
been
that.
so many experiments where people have done that. I know you said this was for another episode, but just very quickly.
Well, it's about truth. Go for it, yeah.
You know, this girl calls herself a travel blogger.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her post.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say her name.
No.
But it came about that she had doctored an image in front of the Taj Mahal.
That was it, yeah.
And it kicked off big time because she had photoshopped the people, so the crowd,
that was it, yeah.
and the
Edited
scaffolding.
It. That was
so, in my opinion, as a travel blogger, you cannot show something. You cannot doctor images like that. As soon as you edit a picture to the extent of where it's not truthful, you're being creative, but you aren't showing a true representation. I believe she also took a photo of an ice cream, and then the backdrop of the picture was photoshopped, and someone said, no way would this ice cream have lasted. I know it sounds so silly, but it makes people believe so many things. And I found this a lot. Like when I've gone, you know what, I really would like to go there and take a picture of it because it looks nice, and I'm all for aesthetics.
Yeah.
But then you get there and you're like, whoa, this
doesn't look
not like it
at
all. And you're so genuinely let down. And I think that's the important thing about social media and people being honest. And I do like a lot of the creative pictures, and then they do a behind the scenes picture as well on the same post.
Yeah.
So you can go, okay, so now I can see what they've done with it.
Yeah.
And that is something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah, social media can mess up our idea of truth and
totally.
how we see it.
Yeah.
And that's why all of my pictures, I literally put a filter on it.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe sometimes I'll smooth out a couple of wrinkles.
Yeah.
There's a couple of on my bags from being a mum, but
being a dog owner.
But so it is literally just how you want to perceive it, and if you go, okay, is this really what that cute little cafe looks like? Is it really that empty? No, there's a queue.
Well, I mean, going deep as usual. It's
deep man.
Deep man. It's I think that is the thing. It's important to be truthful with ourselves, and I'm making this about me again, kind of thing. Kind of having my little bit.
Yeah.
It's like for so long, obviously, I created music and all that kind of stuff, but I was just always searching for perfection, and that's always been my thing in everything in life. Just trying to make everything
like
perfect, as good as I can do. All this kind of stuff. And then that was the thing. I just stopped caring, and then I actually enjoyed it. because I had probably like seven years of not playing guitar, not doing anything musically or whatever, and that was really down to you're just trying to beat yourself up so much that you actually don't even end up creating anything anymore because you're willing to be
I was
perfect.
the exact same with blogging, and I started getting to the point where I was trying to create content so I could make more money.
Yeah.
Because I started making some money and I got a taste for it, and I just wanted more. So
And
I
that's
was
what
looking
I'm
to be
saying.
everybody else.
That is totally what I'm saying. Like, you think the same as I know I'm like comparing a blogger to a criminal, but but I'm saying, like, in all seriousness, it's like you do a few acts of deception, it keeps building, and suddenly you're then a part of something you don't even want to be a part of anymore.
I found, like, especially following a lot of beauty influencers or fashion, they've got a new favorite every week.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is my favorite beauty product, this is my favorite dress, and then this is
There's
my
no
favorite
money
store.
involved.
And you're like, but you said that last week about a different brand that you were advertising. Like, you can say no, or you can just go, I really like this. Because otherwise, and I was victim to it myself. I used to go out and buy things to make myself seem more friendly, PR friendly, to try and get more opportunities.
But it's like a whole other thing. This GP, I think it's called Confessions of a GP. That was another really good book, and it was just like the honest thing of a GP, and like, it blew my mind. One of the points in that, I know this may be already public knowledge, but he was saying how pharmaceutical companies will obviously like back GPs to make them use our drug, and like, I was like, no way, like, this is like unreal, kind of thing. But it was obviously, then it becomes such a big thing that pharmaceutical companies couldn't give money to doctors anymore, obviously, because it's bribing or whatever. But then what they would do is like networking events in the Bahamas.
It's maddening, isn't it? And you just don't expect these things to even exist, because you think these are people that you should trust.
Oh, totally.
And
who's more truthful than a doctor? A lawyer, maybe.
You stumped me there, but we just don't want to go too deep into it. No. But it's the same with, you can feel a bit like another film reference in The Godfather, where Diane Keaton's character says, politicians don't have men killed, Michael, and he says, now who's the one that's naive?
Exactly.
And it is the truth. You have this naivety of what you hope and believe people to be showing, but the reality is, you don't even know, and you only know when you're a part of it, and once you're a part of it, you can't say anything anyway because you're trapped.
And this is the kind of thing to kind of finish off with. You think this is such an amazing subject, isn't it? I
mean, when you started this off, I was
you
like,
thought it was going to be rubbish, didn't you?
When you started reeling off these facts, I was like,
yeah.
Cool,
oh, here we go again.
Cool. Right, okay.
Pulls off again. He's read another book.
Yeah. And I thought, and then I was thinking myself, actually, there's a lot to discuss when it comes to truth, and I guess my words of wisdom would be just be completely honest with yourself,
exactly,
as much as you can, and be as honest with people as you want to be, without lying. You can say the truth without hurting people's feelings. And
that's another big point, isn't it? Because, like, for example, if you're going to say, how do I look in this dress? How truthful do you want to be with someone? You know what I mean?
You're very honest. You'll say, I just don't think it suits you.
We have that relationship, though, so we can get away with it. Like, even though you are still hurt, or I'm still hurt with certain things where you go, well, actually, I put a lot of effort into that or whatever, and I thought that was a good thing. The truth, though, is the best thing.
My anniversary card.
There was a lot of laughing about that, and I really took a lot of time to draw those pictures on that handmade card. And
let's not get me off again. I won't be able to breathe. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like, that's the thing as well, because long term you are actually preventing someone from looking silly by wearing something stupid that they shouldn't wear.
And I guess it is how you word it and your tone of voice and everything. So cool. Okay then, guys, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, do give us a positive review, share with your friends. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at truthspod, or visit our website truthabout.co.uk, and yeah, tell people about us.
Yeah, and definitely, and like, comment, let's keep the conversation going. I'll be really interested to hear any tiny little lies that anyone's done, anyone wants
or
to give it away, or big lies, or how
spill the tea.
Spill the tea, and see how it if any tiny little lies have escalated to larger things or whatever, we're just interested to hear it, things like that. Please be sure to subscribe however you listen to your podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts or any other of the means. And thank you. Cheers for listening.
Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about